In this video, let's check out Aputure's new Infinimat lighting, the Sidus Link Pro, and a sneak peek of how they might apply AI to lighting. Real quick, you're watching VP Land. Special thanks to our sponsors for helping make our NAB coverage possible, Blackmagic and Atomos. And now back to the video. All right, I'm here with Ted from Aputure. Ted, nice to see you.
Good to see you. How's it going?
So what do we got here going on with the Infinimats?
Absolutely. So the Infinimats, they complete something we've been working on for a long time, which is when we started as a company, we would get asked over and over again, Aputure, can you please make your version of this fixture, or this fixture, or this fixture? Now, point source, light bulb, line, mini panel, large panel, linear, and now matte. There's now an Aputure version of every single traditional form factor from the past 100 years, which is awesome. And the reason it's so important is because that completes the ecosystem, meaning that you now have productions that no matter what their need is, they're entirely lit by Aputure. And when you turn on any Aputure light, as Aputure users know, they all automatically connect to each other. And then Sidus Link allows you to tap into one wireless ecosystem, so everything can be controlled wirelessly.
That's awesome. And now with Infinimat, give me a rundown of what we're looking at, because you can connect them. You've got multicolor, so kind of what's some of the key features behind it?
Absolutely. So the Infinimats are basically the ultimate matte light, right? What is the problem with matte lights? Two things. Number one, if you want to use them, you have to set up a frame every single time. And matte lights are great because it's the softness of a softbox without the depth. But if you don't set up a frame, it's just a rag, it's a piece of cloth. Right? So that takes some time to set up. But the second problem is that when you set up a frame, it's a frame. On the middle, it's always going to dip. So they sag when you usually use matte lights. Infinimats solve it in two ways. Number one, they use inflatable diffusion, which sounds crazy, but inflatables are not new to our industry. Light balloons have existed forever. What this means is that you can actually inflate a 1x2 size softbox immediately in 7 seconds. And now you don't have to set up a frame. It has structure by itself. The inflatable is designed to be the exact distance to separate the diffusion from the LEDs, so it's optimized there. They are full color tunability. They are IP65 weatherproof. They are 2 times brighter than the industry standard light matte. And of course, they also have the Sidus Link, which is our big thing today.
Nice. And it's inflatable, it sounds portable. So can this get pretty small if you need to take it?
Absolutely. The 1x2 size honestly can fit in a backpack. We're beneath a 20x20 right now.
How are these connected? How are these stitched together?
Absolutely. So the 20x20, the actual diffusion, we pre-cut those into whatever size you want. So this is a pre-cut 20x20 inflatable diffusion. This is actually 4 8x8s. So basically what we're doing is we're assembling and building these. And basically the infinity method basically means that you can actually stitch and build these to whatever shape or size you want. So if you want to cover a building with light, you can actually cover a building with light. The same way the Infinibars are infinitely extendable, Infinimats can build any shape of light that you want.
So we could just cover the entire convention center with one Infinimat
if you wanted
to.
So multiple lights can be controlled from one softbox as well too. So it's not like each time you try to make it bigger, you have to add a new cable.
Okay.
So that's our big thing.
Nice. And tell me about the color options and what kind of color control you can get.
Yeah. So it's Aputure Color Science, which matches all of our other Aputure fixtures. As far as the actual color tunability as well too, it's pixel mappable, meaning that every patch of the light will actually operate independently if you want it to, which means that I can actually take images. I can take an image of a sunset and I can have my light people with the image of a sunset.
So image-based lighting.
Image-based lighting. You know about this already. Your audience knows about this already.
What about video?
Yes, you can pixel map video through this as well too. So for a lot of people out there that are doing virtual production, as you know, the LED walls are great. However, the spectrum of light that they produce, the color, not great, not good for skin tones. You can't actually light people with that. However, if you go beyond that, the second issue is brightness. A lot of the times the LED walls are not that bright. So now again, not as high resolution, but that's okay because now you get interactive lighting with Aputure Color Science, which again is led by Tim Kang, if you know, from AAC. And you also get full image-based lighting that you can do as far as being able to play videos of a moving car or a sunset or a sky.
These are for lighting people from the side. This is not something that you can have on your background.
Exactly. That's 100%.
Yes. And then tell me a little bit more about what you got with Sidus Link. Some of your updates there.
Sidus Link Pro. Okay, so Infinimats mean that every fixture now exists within the ecosystem. Sidus Pro. Sidus is the way that we connect all of our fixtures together. Sidus Pro means that you now have lighting console Wi-Fi stability in your network, and you get instantaneous control. In the past, you really used to have 2 options. I can do Bluetooth wireless control, which is from my phone, easy to set up, super intuitive, but sometimes the instantaneous control, there's a little bit of lag between my motions, and it's Bluetooth, which means that sometimes you have connection issues, especially in high Bluetooth ranges. Lighting consoles, they're great, they've been around forever, but you gotta read the lighting textbook. You have to do IT networking. You have to learn DMX. What basically Sidus Link Pro means is that you get all the benefits of the console now, instantaneous control, Wi-Fi stability, the ability to use any light, even non-aperture lights.
So as long as it has a DMX, you can connect to it?
Can now be controlled within the same app that's super intuitive and easy to use, which means that if you're on set, you're not switching between apps all the time anymore. You have one fixture where your entire lighting library can be powered off of it. And we built in instantaneous queuing, so.
And the what does this actually look like? We got it was an iPad app, and the hardware, the control link that can, how many lights in it, what kind of like network are we link with the Sidus Link?
100%. So there's two pictures. Sidus 1 gives you one universe of control, and we were coming out with Sidus 4 that's going to give you 4 universes of control.
On one piece of hardware?
On one piece of hardware.
Okay, what?
So Sidus 1, if you know a little bit about wireless DMX, it's basically the ultimate transceiver. In the past, if you wanted to set up wireless DMX, you needed a wireless router, an NTEC Ethernet encoder, and then you also needed a wireless CRMX transmitter. That is a tremendous amount of tools that get put into one thing. This, which has been conveniently handed to me at the perfect time, is actually only one device that does the actual functionality of all 3 of those devices in one. And in addition to that, if you don't want to use wireless DMX, this acts as a Bluetooth extender, which means that your regular Bluetooth Sidus Link control goes from 80 meters of distance to 180 meters of distance. So it gives you all the benefits plus more.
That's awesome. And now tell me a bit more about, we've got Aputure, Amaran. Amaran is now a separate company. So what's the thought behind that?
That's a great question. So this is going to sound crazy to people, but 10 years ago when we got started, people said LEDs will never replace HMIs or tungsten. And it's because at the time there was a color gap, right? And our first couple lights, there's a reason why they weren't being used on Dune or Star Wars and things like that, because you're right, the color fidelity on the highest end motion pictures, it's got to be perfect, right? But bit by bit, we got brighter, our color got better. Now our lights are being used on Dune, Star Wars, they're being used on the biggest motion pictures out there. But in the beginning, the people that used us the most were a lot of the content creators, the YouTubers, the documentary filmmakers. For these people out there, as we got bigger, we started to realize that this audience was saying, Aputure, you guys are working on the bigger productions, where are you going? Amaran is doing their solo debut here, and up until now, we've been putting on our creator hat and then our filmmaker hat. Our creator hat, our filmmaker hat. Now actually we've been able to split the teams. Now there's a tech team that wakes up every morning and all they think about is, how do I make the life of the content creator easier? I don't care about the high-end movie, I don't care about that. I care about the YouTuber at home that's making the production channel. If they're a bread-making genius or a fly-fishing master, right? They don't need to learn filmmaking. They don't want to learn filmmaking. Our job at Amaran is how can we make it so that you can put yourself online as fast as possible and not have to learn all the technical stuff.
What are some of the different needs that like content creators, YouTubers are having and what they need for lighting versus bigger production?
Absolutely. I think for a content creator, they need things like desktop control. I need to be able to control this from my streaming setup while I'm working at the same time. I need something that it's a desk setup that when people walk into my house, it doesn't look like I have an entire setup going here. It looks like my lights are actually a part of my production design as well too. YouTubers have all kinds of different needs that are just different in this way. They need to be able to put things in backpacks and things like that. Filmmakers have crews, we work in a certain way, we work on trucks. It's just a different setup and a different beast.
Yeah. Well, that's very exciting. One last question that's sort of a general for all the lighting, but AI hot topic on generative AI, but have you seen any applications or anything else or thought of anything with using machine learning for like lighting sets, lighting people, relighting? Has that been on your radar at all?
So here's what I will say without going into releases, but I'm talking about this a little bit tomorrow, so stay tuned. But I think the biggest thing that I would say is we are building an ecosystem that is now complete. You can now control everything from one app. And built in with that, that means that we will be able to help make parts of the process just faster. In terms of the thing that you want to do already, we'll be able to help you do them faster. So yes, absolutely, there's some stuff coming for that. And I think people are going to be super excited.
All right, I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, good.
Thanks a lot.
Cool. Pleasure.
And that is it for this video. Be sure to check out the rest of our NAB coverage over here at this playlist and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next episode.